Drag and scroll. This is what we are going to talk about today. This effect I wanted to do so long, and I forgot about it, and then I need to thanks to Roy, which asked me about it and asked me if I can give it a shot. So I did, and the results are amazing. And this is something that I really love, and I think that most of you are going to use it because it's so sleek and so beautiful, and especially for PC when you have this ugly scroll bar, right? Let's see what we have here. So the first thing is that we can actually click and drag left and right to create a horizontal scroll without the need of the mouse wheel, right? So this is the first thing. The second thing is that it's sleek. If I scroll a bit and leave my mouse down, okay, so it's not stop immediately, it's sliding. Okay, it's super sleek. And another thing that we have the bounce effect. So if I reach to the end, so I stretch it and leave my mouse, so it's bounce back. It's very elastic. Same for the beginning. Okay, so we have this effect, which is super cool. And the last one is that you can actually have, you can see the mouse is changing. So here it's grab, and when I click, it's grabbing. Okay, so it's super nice. It was a bit complicated to achieve. I used custom element, as you can see right here. You don't have to make it visible on your live site. I just want to show it. But the good news is that you don't need to care about the entire logic and code, because you will need to adjust a few tiny things, and that's it. So we have the installation steps that I have prepared in advance. So we will do step by step, and then we will see how to implement it on specific design. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's also working on vertical scrolling. I have exactly the same effect. Amazing. All right, so this is the editor. Everything is this is the live example that I've created. And okay, so now what we need to do, we need to follow the steps. So first step is, oh, by the way, I want to mention in advance, I didn't try it on PC because I don't have one. So please let me know in the comments if it's working for you. Okay, so first step is we need to take this script and add it to our website. So this is my website. This is the setting panel. You need to have a premium to allow custom code. So this one, we need to go to custom code, add custom code, paste the script right here, and give a meaningful name. So I'll call it JS, so I know it's JavaScript, and then I'll call it ScrollBooster. This is the library we are using, which is this one. You have a button right here, which will take you to the Git with all the specification of how to use it, but you don't really need it. But if you do want to read more, which is good, you have it. Okay, so we was just here. So because I have it in multiple pages on all my site, I'm selecting all pages. You can also specify to specific page, and I paste it and I need to place it at the head. Okay, so done. You can see that I have tons of custom code all is turned off because I do a lot of experiments. But you can see that I have it twice because I have already created, so I'll remove it. So I do have this. Okay, so first step is completed. Second step, we need, okay, inside the custom element folder, I'm talking about the dev mode, okay? So let's go to the editor. You need to turn on dev mode. Inside the public and backend, you need to create a new folder. Let's go to add folder. If you don't have it already, you need to call it custom elements, okay? And you can see that I've already have it, so I won't create it. You need to create this custom element folder, and inside this custom element folder, you need to create a new file called draggable.js, and this one, actually, this is not the right name. It should be ScrollBooster. Do I change it right now or not? You know what? Let's do it. Rename ScrollBooster ScrollBooster.js. Okay, so I need to change it also in here. Okay, ScrollBooster. Booster is with double O. So ScrollBooster, I need to rename it again. Rename, great, ScrollBooster JS. And then what you need to do, after you have this new file inside the custom element folder, you need to copy paste the code, which I will provide, but right now is actually this code because I already have this file. So you need to copy and paste it right here. You see, it's a lot of code, but you don't really need to care about everything. Okay, so we've done the second thing. And now what we need to do is we need to add custom element and set the source and tag name. So this is a custom element. Now it's not function because I changed the source. You need to go to, how to add custom element. You need to go to the add panel, embed and social, and here you have custom element. So drag one of these into your UI. Now I want to, just a second. Yeah. Now at the beginning it would look like this, okay? But when you set the source and the tag name, it becomes transparent. This is why I put this custom element inside a container. You see, I called it ScrollBooster custom element box, okay? And the custom element is inside, and I gave some background color for this container, so it's visible for me, okay? So you can do it also or not. So what do you need to do? You need to go and choose source and go to velo file. Now you need to select the ScrollBooster.js, okay? If you don't see the file name here, it's meant that either the folder is not with exactly the same name as the custom elements, or it's not the file is not located inside this folder. Okay, so I do have it here, but I also need to set the tag name. So how do I know what the tag name should be? So if I'm going to my JavaScript file, at the last line, you can see custom element defined, and this is the tag name, draggable element. So let's change it to ScrollBooster element. Sorry, we have the tag name, which is ScrollBooster element, and now we can set. Let's go back. Set the velo file to ScrollBooster and the tag name will be ScrollBooster element. Once I clicked on it, this should be transparent. Okay, if it's not working for you, just toggle this one. I'll go back to server URL and then verify. It should be erased, refreshed. Okay, and then I put it inside this container. So let's because I've already have it, so I'll delete this one. Okay, because I have it right here. What you want to do, make it small. Okay, this I set to be 100 pixels on 100 pixels, and then I set the custom element container to be collapsed, so it won't take space on my live website, but still the code will be running. Okay, so let's see the steps back again. So we do have now custom element, we set the source and the tag name, and now add the page code. This is again, I'll show you the example of code which you can take and simply paste inside your page code where you have the draggable element you want to create. So I'll do exactly the same. I will comment this out just for a second, and you will get something similar to this, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think something similar to this one. Okay, something like this. So we have a function called init ScrollBooster. And this function is the first thing that is doing is selecting the custom element. So I give it a meaningful name. I called it draggable custom element. To be precise, let's change it to ScrollBooster custom element. Okay, I'll change it also for here. So let's go. This is our custom element. We need to set its ID to be ScrollBooster custom element, and then so this is the first action that this function is doing, and then you see that you have draggable elements which have it's an array of objects, which each object is contained two keys. The first one is scroll container and scroll content. Okay, so now we will we want to apply this effect to specific elements. So because you see here that we have two elements, so we have the container, we have the content. So it means that each element must placed inside a container. This is the only way I've managed to create it. So let's create a new design. So we will create something very, very simple. I will turn off the max width, I don't need it. So we have a container, a simple container. Let's set it at the center, and let's set its background color to this blackish color. Okay, and I want to place an image inside of it. Now this image will be docked to the left and to the center, but its width will be 200%. Okay, it means that it's bigger than its own parent, and let's set the parent to be overflow height. Okay, so now we don't see the content outside, but on the live site we do want to be able to grab and swipe left and right. So now we need to, so this is the container, so let's give it a proper name. This is the ScrollBooster wrapper. Okay, and this is the ScrollBooster content. So this is the container. Okay, so exactly the same way we need to take these elements IDs and paste it in our code. So don't do what I'm doing right now. I just use the default value of the element ID. Don't do it. Give a good name for your elements. So I'll take this one and I replaced it with the existing one. Okay, this is already working for this repeater. Okay, but for this example I will replace it. So the scroll container is this one, it's this ID, and the scroll content is the image x41. Okay, so let's publish the website. And oh, this is not the right name. So this is set the attribute. So let's search for it inside our custom element. I'll close it. Inside the ScrollBooster file, you see, because I changed the name, I should be precise with everything. So let's change to ScrollBooster. You will have everything already with the right naming. You don't need to worry about it. I just need to update it also here. Maybe I'll explain what it's doing, but we will publish the website and let's go to the live site. Okay, so first indication is that you see when I'm hovering it, my cursor is changing. This is because the custom element, we set it there, and we can actually grab and drag, which is working. We also have this bounce effect, everything working exactly as expected. This is amazing. This is where you should be. Okay, you should be able to create a container, place some content inside of it, go to your page code, add a new object separated by comma, and put the right IDs, and everything should be working exactly the same. So if I'll go here for my first example, you can see that my cursor is not changing, which means it's not working here. So quickly, to fix it, I'll select the repeater and copy its ID. Now this is the second object. This is for the first one. This is for the second. And let's place, this is the content. The repeater is the content. And the container is the container he is with inside, which is box some number. And if I publish my website, now I should have two elements that the effect is applied to. So this one is working, and now the repeater is also working. Amazing. Okay, so until now everything working exactly as we wanted. Now I do want to mention something that you cannot do. You cannot use a repeater, for example, and set it to be slider. It won't work. Okay. The alternative way is to use cards or grid cells. Okay, for example, I'm using cards. I'll drag it inside my container. I'm deleting the image. Let's place it at the center, and I'll add some padding to the container so we will see its boundaries. So let's do like 50 pixels. It's too much maybe, but who cares? So the repeater, I'll remove the number of items, because if I set the number of items, so if I'll add another item, it start to wrap. Okay, I don't want it. So I'll turn it off, and then I want to set its width. We'll change it later. I want to set each item width. So for example, if we want to use a responsive unit, we can use a VW and set it to be, I don't know, 20. something like this. Now you see it start wrapping. So instead you can set it to be max content. So now everything is aligned, okay, is on the same line. And the general width is coming from its own container, which this one. I'll change to 60%. Now you see more items. So now I need to change the content ID. You can see that I have error because I delete the image. So now if I publish the website, now it applied on the repeater, not the image. This way you can create this drag experience. Okay, so don't use slider. Exactly the same for Flexbox. Layout tools, Flexbox. So you cannot use slider or slides. It won't work. Okay, this is the only way it works. With elements, you can do text elements, but whatever you like, don't use sliders. Okay, so now what I want I can delete it, and because I've deleted, I need to make sure that I'm deleting the extra object that I have here. So let's delete one. Now we are working only on this slider. Okay, so I want us to play around with some properties to see how we can play around with the behavior. Okay, not all, I won't cover all, but something. Okay, so now I'm going back to my custom element ScrollBooster JavaScript. So basically, the way I have created is that there is a global options. Okay, this global options it's meant that if you use this effect on any elements on your websites with the same method that we did right here, this effect will be applied, okay, which is kind of custom settings that I've set. But you do have the options to override them. For example, the bounce, okay? The bounce is this one, okay? If it's bounce back when it reaches to the edge, okay? So if I want to, for example, you don't want to have this bounce. So what you can do is you can go right here, copy this key, okay? And here in the where you set the draggable elements, you can also set the options. So options, and this should be an object, okay? So we need key and value. So bounce, what value it can get, right? So you can jump back to ScrollBooster code, and you can see this is from the API itself. So bounce can be, it's explained what it does, and it can be true or false. Actually, it's obvious, but you can see it can be true. This is the default, but you can set it to be false. So let's set it to false, okay? And now let's publish it. And on the live site, now I should not have the bounce. So okay, so I do have the options to drag, and I still have the options to bounce. I don't know why. Maybe it's options. Yeah, sorry, it's options, not option. Okay, so let's go back. By the way, I'm going to the live site because you can see the effect only on live site when you're working with custom element. So I have this up. It's still bouncing. Oh, because I set it to true. Wow. False, of course. Please work right now at this time. Okay, so I can drag, but look what's happened when I stretch it to to the right it does nothing, and to the left also nothing. Okay, so this way I've disabled the bounce effect. Also, you can control this. You see how much time it takes for it to stop once I drag. So this called frictions, if I remember correctly. So I do not need to remember. I can go right here and see this is friction, and it's explained the scroll friction factor, how fast scrolling stop after pointer release. So I can copy this one. I don't want, I do want the bounce, so I'll replace it. And this is a number value, and I can see the default is 0.05. So if, for example, I'll set it to 0.01, so I think that it should be super slow, like it's sliding on ice, you know, it's take forever to stop. So let's see. So now if I'll drag it, you see how much time it takes to stop. It's not even stopped yet. See, it's still moving. It's crazy how smooth it is. It's too much in my opinion, yeah, but it's crazy. Okay, so I won't cover more options, but you do need to remember that you have this option to play around with. Okay, yeah, sorry, I do have one more. So this is for horizontal, right? But what about vertical? So in this example, now this is a bit tricky. It took me a while to understand, but so you need to set the height. You need to set the height for the container. Okay, so here I set it explicitly to 800 pixels, and you can see the overflow is scroll, but you can do height, and then you won't have the scroll bar. And then this is still cards, but I set each item, I think, to be 100%. So basically it's like a list. So the content obviously is bigger than its own parent, right? So again, how do we do it? So the default, remember, the default is horizontal scrolling. So we will see now how to create. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a new object, right? Because it's different gallery, it's different element we want to slide. So I'll just copy it. Okay, so now I need to set the content, the scroll container, and the repeater is the scroll content. Now I need to change the scroll direction. So I do need the options, but look, we have the direction. So direction, scroll direction could be horizontal, vertical, or all. All is for all directions, but if you have overflow for the x-axis and for the y also. But now I'll set it to be vertical. So let's change this one to the value to vertical, and just not to make a mistake, I will copy also the key, which is direction, and that's easy. I should be able to create it. So let's go to the live site. Okay, so you can see now it's working. It's working amazingly, and they are not sharing same friction. You see here it's very low friction, and here it's as we did before. Okay, so it's give you the full flexibility to control different elements. Okay, some things to remember. which I write right here. General notes. All draggable elements should be inside a container. We talked about it. All effects will apply on non-touch devices. Okay, so if you have a tablet or phone, this effect won't be applied. You will use your touch to get exactly the same effect. I didn't try this effect on PC, so please let me know if it's working for you. As expected, please let me know. I really want to understand that this is actually work good for PC. Okay, this is important. This is the progress. So if you do not understand some of the code, copy the code to ChatGPT and ask him. Okay, so let me know this thing. I didn't write all of this. Okay, basically I guided ChatGPT to do stuff for me. Of course, I understand exactly what's going on here. Yeah, but the heavy lifting ChatGPT does for me. And sometimes I didn't understand stuff or why it did things, and is an amazing teacher. So my point is if you don't understand part of this code, so what you can do is you can simply go to ChatGPT, copy the code, okay, take this code or combine it with this code. It's depend on which part you want to ask. But if you give them both the page code and the ScrollBooster.js, you can understand the entire flow. So you can ask a specific question. For example, why do we need the inject CSS? Okay, so it can explain to you. Or you can say, I want my cursor to be an image. Yeah, if you copy all this code to ChatGPT and ask them, I want to change my pointer to be an image with this source and not the grab. So believe me, it will give you the solution. You can explain why you need to do things in specific way or what is the meaning. So use this tool. It's amazing. And if after all you still have questions, you can ask in the channel. You can ask in the comments. I hope that I will answer. If not, someone from the community, please assist each other. Okay, so that's it. Amazing effect. Again, thank you, Roy, for ask for it. And until next time, keep building amazing sites on Wix Studio.